The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Hey, and we are back with another awesome, great episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun, your podcast where we cover Cedar Point, Six Flags entertainment news, and everything to do with fun.
There you go. You're almost there.
I'm not Kyle, but Evan is here with me. We're trying to put this all together. Kyle put in yesterday a PTO request because he's going to be moving, and the podcast studio that he normally records on and everything is pretty much a construction zone right now, so he'll be gone for the next few weeks.
I don't know. He put in his PTO request a little late.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I'm going to deny it.
But yeah, so yeah, Evan, it's just you and I again. I know that we, the last podcast was our 100th episode. Congrats to us. Thanks, Kyle, for filling in and putting that all together and stuff, because I know that was a crazy week / weekend and everything. But we're going to talk a little bit more about Siren's Curse and whatnot. But a little bit of an update here. Top Thrill 2 is still running. I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, when's it going to break down? Whatever. It's been running. There's I'm not going to give out the websites, but there are some websites online if you search for Top Thrill 2, like uptime and stuff, and some really nerdy websites that kind of break down launch by launch and how many times it launches and stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, man, it's at I think according to one of these websites, it's like 56% ish uptime or whatever. I think it's like following like
that's counting all year, including all the crappy weather we had at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the one website right now, and it's been like 80% for the last week, which is pretty good.
Yeah. So
it's running. It's running. That's all I care about. It's
out.
Closed right now, but it's storming.
It's currently storming there right now. But you know what? Get off your butt. Summer, sadly, is kind of starting to go a little bit away.
And we're already in the middle of it.
Yeah. We're right in the middle of it. But go check out Top Thrill 2. Ride it. Make sure you ride Siren's Curse as well. But I'm nerd alert. I think I've ridden Top Thrill 2 like 85 times according to my Log Ride app that I keep track of and stuff. And if you're not a fan of Log Ride, go check that out. Their app is phenomenal. They've updated it a little bit. Evan, I don't even think I've told you this, but it kind of knows where you're at in the park now when you open up the app. And so I think it's almost to the point to where it's starting to like figure out like if I rode say Gemini or something, because it'll say Gemini you rode once, and I was like, well, actually I was just going to get an icy, but but yeah, so it looks like that's a work in progress. But that'll be really cool if they could dial that in to where maybe it uses like GPS or something, and like literally it just kind of like, I don't know, it does something where I rode Magnum and be like, oh wow, I actually did ride Magnum, and I don't have to like try to remember what coasters I rode and stuff. And then also, shout out to myself. I don't even think I said this on the podcast. Siren's Curse was my 400th coaster. Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't think you did say that.
Yeah, 400th coaster.
Maybe
400 coasters in there. I might have. It was a blur. 400. So
we were so tired.
Yeah, right. So it was cool. It was our 100th episode. It was our 100th episode for Siren's Curse Media Day, and then it was a 400th coaster that I've ridden in a lifetime. And Evan, you're going to be we're going to talk a little bit about it here in a little bit, but you're going to be flying away from my 400 because I've got a lot of the credits.
Yeah, you had started to catch up to me. I'm at 420. You're at 400.
Yeah,
and well, you've been to Canada's Wonderland and Epic Universe, and I have not.
That is
and
true.
That's going to change here real quick.
That is very true. Evan, do you want to talk a little bit about Siren's Curse and
Can we just hope? You know what? I hope that was the last time we ever have to talk about Top Thrill. It's just open now. You know,
right?
like Millennium is just open and Raptor is just open. So we hopefully just don't have to talk about Top Thrill anymore.
Yeah.
But
Although
yeah,
I think
anyways,
I think we said that last year, and then
I think we did.
So we'll keep the door open about talking about Top Thrill.
Well, look, I'll say this: Siren's Curse has been open longer than Top Thrill was last year.
That is true.
It's
Yeah.
been open a week and a half, and we're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about it on, excuse me, the last our 100th episode when we were live in the park. But since then, the park you had the charity event, you had pass holder day. I was there on the ride's opening day when the park lost power, so that was the only ride I rode that day, and I've been back once since then for 4th of July. And yeah, I mean, it seems like the public is loving it. It's got a long line every day. The fast lane line's really long, even, which I guess that's maybe not a great thing, but I don't know. It's very popular. Everybody loves it. Everything I've heard other people say about the ride, it's not like we just had I don't know. It's not like we were just ass kissing the park. Everybody I've heard talk about the ride has said it's phenomenal. Top 5, top 3 favorite ride in the park.
Yeah.
I took my mom and my girlfriend on opening day. My mom loved it. My girlfriend thinks it might be her number 1 in the park. She hasn't ridden Millennium since she rode Siren's Curse because, some moron in a Corvette had to hit a power pole. But yeah, that kind of ruined our night. But that's okay. But yeah, it's still as good as it was on media day. I think the recency bias might have started to wear off, and it's still a phenomenal ride. So
super smooth. I got to ride it at night, obviously.
I got a night ride on it too.
During the media day, it wasn't night. It was obviously it was.
Our first ride was dawn.
Dark. Yeah. But the night ride, if you're waiting to ride it during the day, and if you only can ride it once, save that for the end of the night. Night ride is totally different. Driving down into that tunnel with the fog.
And it's been super reliable, so it's not like you have to worry about it closing or anything.
Right. I mean, it's a new ride. It's going to have bugs, things that,
And you got to get stuck on a tilt for about an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was an issue or something where there was something where I think the tilt or something got stuck for a few minutes and got reset, and they
and boy did the national media get a hold of that.
Right? Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm like, really? It's a new coaster. It's gonna have some bugs, it happens.
No, they should tear it down.
Yeah, right. But the nighttime, the lights on the train are phenomenal. The train leaving the station is really cool, where the lights change colors and the mood changes, and then you start hearing the audio track and stuff and everything. Cedar Point actually released the POV of it, I think yesterday, which was Tuesday? Yeah.
I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, right. It's been a crazy few weeks for me, but yeah. So ride it at night, really, really good. Super smooth. I love the lighting. If anyone wants to see really cool lighting effect, I love watching the train lights. If you have a chance, watch the train when it parks in the brakes. It'll have kind of blue lights that kind of just are flashing a little bit on the train, going back and forth. And then as soon as it dispatches, there's a specific area. It doesn't all go out. It literally has a trickle effect from the front to the train to the back of the train. It literally is
it's like there's an invisible wall that just turns them.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. I'm trying to think what else. I really, really we didn't get to talk about this on the last one. I love the triple down into the tunnel. That is probably one of my favorite elements.
That element's really grown on me. I've noticed it more, I guess.
Tunnel, and then there's fog, and
it really feels like it dives into the tunnel too.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard or seen any issues because we've had some crazy rains lately. And I haven't heard anybody, the tunnel's flooding and stuff. I
didn't even think about that. So yeah, no, there hasn't been any issues. It downpours for, a couple hours and Siren's Curse reopens right away.
Right.
So it's not like the tunnel's flooding or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know, Evan. Like, I got to ride it in the very front, and I also got to ride it in the very back. The very back
I
is
have done neither.
obviously like fire, absolute fire.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you like, boom, prepare to meet your doom, and then boom, and then you just drop, and that first drop, you're just flying through everything in the back. But the front is kind of, I don't know. The front is fun though too, because when you're going up 160 feet high, you're pretty much almost level with Rougarou in the front, and you just see Rougarou, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, there's literally no track above, like further on. You're just like looking, you're just like, oh,
See that? Yeah, you
wow.
only really get that effect in the front seat.
Right. And then what's fun is literally you start that tilt, and then when you tilt, you're like, you feel like you're almost like halfway down the hill. You're like, whoa. And then all of a sudden just all hell breaks loose, and there's some good time airtime moments in the front though too. So back.
I mean, I've ridden in row 2 obviously, but
right, yeah,
man.
because of the camera setup and stuff and everything. But yeah, the front, I only rode it once in the front. It's fun.
Yeah, I need to get that full effect, but even without having ridden in the front of the back, when I got off that night ride, I was like, man, is this my second favorite in the park? I mean, I've talked a lot, and Kyle's talked a lot too about rides that are just more fun than they are like balls to the wall, thrill extreme, like Steel Vengeance says, say.
Yeah.
Where I've started to really enjoy Millennium a lot more than ever, because it's thrilling, it's tall and it's fast, but it's just so fun and re-rideable. Something I could sit on all day. Where Siren's Curse is very similar to that, or it really has that same aspect where it's like this ride, it makes me, it excites me, it's thrilling, but it also doesn't wear me out. So I don't know, maybe once I get on Top Thrill with a little more frequency, I guess, as it gets more and more reliable, and maybe the line gets shorter and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It might be recency bias, but I think it might be my second favorite in the park. And I still haven't ridden in the very front or the very back yet. So
I was gonna say my top 5 for the park at least is gonna be Top Thrill 2 is number 1 for me. And number 2 is going to be Millennium Force, I believe, right? No, I'm sorry. My number 1 is Top Thrill 2. My second is Steel Vengeance. My number 3 is Siren's Curse. My number 4 is Maverick, and number 5 is Millennium.
Man, I drag you on Millennium a lot for it to be your 5th favorite.
I mean, to be fair, like there is like, it depends on like the day and the mood.
It depends on the day, and I was going to say too. So
it's very close.
I'll go through my top 5, because then what I'm about to say will make more sense. I would say Millennium, then Siren's Curse, and then probably Steel Vengeance, then Top Thrill, then Maverick.
Okay.
Now, I was gonna, and I think I said this to you when we were there for Media Day, but we are so spoiled at Cedar Point, where a ride like Maverick, where there are very few, if any, theme parks in America, Universal and Disney included, where Maverick is not the number 1 coaster. I mean, you take Maverick and pluck it down pretty much anywhere that's not like Kings Island or Universal, it's the number 1 coaster. Maybe Carowinds because of Fury. And I'll get there with Canada's Wonderland and Leviathan and stuff. But we're at Cedar Point. It is, maybe, my opinion is my opinion, but I'm sitting here like confidently saying Maverick is my 5th favorite ride at Cedar Point. 5th,
right?
Like, that's insane that we are that spoiled that Maverick is that quote unquote low.
Right.
And I mean, I could hear an argument for even more coasters being above Maverick. I mean, a lot of people like Magnum, depending on your taste, Raptor, etc. So, man, we are spoiled. And, maybe somebody might say Siren's Curse is their 5th, and that's still, Siren's Curse is probably close to number 1 at just about any other park.
Yeah.
So we're so spoiled.
I will say the only I guess complaint I have with Siren's Curse, if I can create like something, which is the ride is pretty perfect.
I mean, you're a coaster enthusiast, so you got to find something to complain about.
I know. I wish it was a lot taller. I wish it was not like 160 feet. I wish that, like, I don't know, it was maybe like 250 feet or 300 feet. Maybe we'll get one of those maybe at Kings Island or a different Six Flags park, whatever. Like, I'm just saying that, like, oh my goodness, because it's so freaking smooth, and the transitions and the pacing and everything, and it's just so good. And that's my only gripe is, like, I think it'd be a lot more scarier with everybody. I mean, it is a lot scary because it's really cool. Evan, you haven't had a whole lot of time at the park to see this, but, like, it's fun to just walk over by Iron Dragon and just see everybody going, oh, hell no. Like, or, no way. I am not doing that. No. And just freaking out and just, whoa.
I see that online all the time. I mean, I see people, even if it's just a regular old video of the ride, people are like, oh, the roller coasters have gone too far. I'm not riding that.
I'm too old for that. No. It's that. No, I'm like, no, it's
and like, little do you know, that's the smoothest ride out there.
Yeah.
Like, aside from the tilt, it is the, like, easiest ride to ride, like, physically.
Right.
Speaking of complaining, I've actually heard people complain that it is too smooth. I cannot make this up. People have said it is too smooth.
I mean,
not a lot of people, but I have heard people say that.
I think go ride a wood coaster, for gosh sakes. I don't know.
Do you want a headache when you get off? I mean, there's plenty of new B&Ms out there that rattle you half to death. Looking at you, Penguin Trek. So
yeah, that would be my only gripe. And like I said, maybe down the road and stuff, they'll venture higher and do crazier things.
Like, I mean, you got to remember that this ride was, let's see, what are we allowed to say? This ride maybe wasn't originally supposed to go. No,
the park has said it.
Oh, have they said that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to remember, this was supposed to go to Six Flags Mexico. Yes. So, and they had they couldn't get the permits to build it as it is. So.
Yeah. No, I will gladly take. I'm happy, and I'm just like, ooh, we've got awesome tilt coaster in our backyard. And it's a
shout out to a park in Poland for buying it, and shout out to Mexico for buying it from them, and shout out to the Mexican government or the Mexico City government, whoever was in charge of permits, for saying.
And you know what? Shout out to Cedar Point for keeping that land like vacant and just there, and then they were just, we've got this land just perfectly right here. Why not?
Everybody higher up was like, "Ooh, we're just waiting for a park to cancel a coaster so we can steal it."
Yeah. And
their evil plan.
So I mean, maybe this. I mean, honestly, like, maybe we're supposed to get. I don't know for sure, but I've heard through the grapevines that we were supposed to get possibly maybe 2 coasters for, like, the anniversary year of, like, 150 years. Or maybe that was their, hey, by the way, there you go. You got your second coaster, something like that. I know.
I had always heard of that what is that area? What was the name of that hotel that was there?
Cedars.
The dorms. Cedars, yeah. I had always heard that was they were thinking about a big flat ride expansion and moving the Ferris wheel back and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Well, guess what? We got a new coaster instead.
You know what? When Six Flags America closes, there's a lot of flat rides that we can take.
Yeah. Hey, before we were going to talk about Canada's Wonderland next, right? Before we get into that,
a little bit, yeah.
I do want to mention, because you mentioned Six Flags America. My mom was actually visiting her sister in Maryland for 4th of July, and they went to Six Flags, and they had a really good time. Yeah. Like, my mom said it was kind of bittersweet because the park was, like, good. Like, aww. They were running 2 trains. All the workers were really upbeat and friendly and kind. And, but then, she said the park was really pretty, like, landscaped really well. You could tell that before whatever happened up top happened, they were really trying to make this park something, and, business is business, but
right.
What she did say is they were there July 5th, a Saturday, and it was dead. Just there was nobody there. So business is business.
Right. Well, actually, speaking of that, before we talk about Canada's Wonderland, I was going to say, first of all, huge shout out again to Cedar Point and Tony Clark for inviting us to Media Day Siren's Curse. I can't wait for Boardwalk Nights to come up here pretty soon. I believe July 18th. July 18th is the first day that it starts. They started
No
prep.
kidding.
Yep, they started prep on that. Some of the lighting, the pool's up, the giant,
Jesus.
the giant, I don't know, the big hamster wheel, I guess you want to call it, that they do stuff in or whatever, acrobat, whatever it's called. I don't know. Anyway,
Wait, did you look at the website for Boardwalk Nights yet? They actually updated it.
No, I actually haven't.
I'm not going to read through all of it, but there's something that I know you're going to love.
Oh, feel free. Yeah, feel free. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about this past few weeks at the park, and then we'll talk about Canada's Wonderland.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about 4th of July and stuff. But yeah, they actually updated the Boardwalk Nights website, so I will go through that real quick. And Carsten, I think I know what you're going to be real happy with something here.
Okay.
So it's nightly, July 18th through August 17th, excluding Tuesdays. And they have a couple quick blurbs about what's going on. So when the sun goes down, the Cedar Point Beach and the boardwalk at Cedar Point electrify with larger-than-life entertainment, over-the-top food and drink, games for the entire family, music and dancing, lights and sounds that inspire the best summertime dance moves, and more. From kids to adults, all will enjoy Boardwalk Nights, the perfect addition to a day at Cedar Point, right in the heart of summer. Presented by Blue Bunny. Daring feats. Amazing human feats and stunts will surround you. Be amazed with nonstop action from high dive daredevils, extreme teeterboard artists, hand-to-hand human balancing, synchronized kite flying, and the ultimate test of skill on the 40-foot tall Wheel of Destiny. Music in full swing. Embark on a memorable musical night on the boardwalk. Start with the whimsical Boardwalk Brigade and meet fun characters like Miss Popcorn and Cotton Candy as you stroll. Enjoy the soulful Seagals, the diva dream girls of Cedar Point, who might charm a French fry or two from you. Swing into the past with the Steamboat Swing Dance Party and enjoy modern twists and classics with Strike Up the Band. Okay, now, Carsten, you really need to listen now.
Okay. I've been listening.
Sip and savor. Savor Boardwalk Bites. Flavored popcorn, colossal cotton candy, and elote dogs. Sip on signature cocktails like That's the Bomb, Spiked Icy.
Ooh.
we all know your love of ices, and now we got a spiked one for you.
That is true.
And it's actually icy brand. Like, it's not just like a frozen cocktail.
Okay.
So
that's good.
And collector lemonade and limeade shakers in flavors like watermelon jalapeno, strawberry basil, and pina colada. Enjoy a culinary adventure by the beach. And they go into more detail about the food this year, which they're doing way more food this year. Last year was just what was it? That stupid giant hot dog. Was that what it was? The pulled pork hot dog with like a million different toppings and crap.
Yeah. That was upstairs at the Graham Pavilion.
So this year, and I am all about this, they got a donut on a stick, and it looks like it's got like it's like 5 mini donuts with like raspberry syrup maybe on it and like cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
Mahi fish taco trio. Lobster bisque. Everybody was complaining that the lobster bisque is gone from Grand Pavilion.
There's a reason.
Well, you're gonna get it. Man, that's kind of dirty, but okay, whatever. Pierogies with sour cream.
Ooh.
Love me some pierogies.
Okay.
And jalapeno poppers with cheese sauce.
Oh. That sounds really good.
And then a pickle on a stick.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'm
a sucker for a pickle, not gonna lie. I'm
sorry.
You're good.
It's the family show.
Yep. I really am. I mean, like, you know, those big like ones that you can get in the store that are like sealed and they're like the Big Ma or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're like
different flavors,
in, like the brine or whatever.
Yes.
And then they have boardwalk flights and drinks. You could get a boardwalk beer flight, a midway margarita flight, a cotton candy cocktail, a bomb pop bonanza.
Wow.
Which is
they've got a lot.
I mean, they don't really go into detail on that stuff. We're still going here.
Yeah,
going.
I like.
I'm glad they brought more food.
I had no idea about Boardwalk Nights.
Yeah, this is, I guess, breaking news. I don't know.
Breaking news to us.
Fantabulous finale. Yes, it actually says fantabulous.
Okay.
Join us for the grand finale of Boardwalk Nights. Immerse yourself in a mesmerizing celebration with dazzling pyrotechnics illuminating the Dodgem rooftop and the Grand Pavilion. Marvel at the synchronized close proximity fireworks and join in an immersive, spectacular send-off to an unforgettable day. Don't miss the magical night of lights and excitement.
Cool.
Fun on the beach. Put your toes in the sand as you immerse yourself in specialty circus artist performances, a synchronized kite show, kids activities, and the all-new Fascination game show.
Ooh.
Man, I got really excited when I read Fascination, but
I'm sorry. I heard game show, and you literally
that'll be
that
interesting.
listened to the past episodes, the IAPA, the game show, the thing that I made Kyle play. Ooh, I hope. Oh, I've got lots.
They just bring out that and just set it down on the beach.
I can't wait.
And then last but not least, game on. Take a stroll down the boardwalk to test your skill at classic games like High Striker, Boardwalk Basketball, Ring a Seagull, Milk Cans, and Token Pitch. So. Sweet. Yeah, that seems like
it seems like
it's kind of more of the same, but like in the food department, they're going a little harder.
Harder, but then they also good. It looks like they got rid of the hot dog eating contest that they had.
They had that.
Well, remember?
I
participated, and then they also got rid of I think it was like the 3-point challenge or the basketball challenge.
It was was it like horse or something?
It was something like that.
Trying to do?
It was
something weird, and nobody really understood it.
It was actually really weird. I'm kind of glad they got rid of that. I'm glad I participated because you would
just keep doing the 3-point shootout. That's people stand around and watch, and it feels like it was fun,
and I won too. So not to be braggy or anything, but yeah, that sounds good. So I can't wait for Boardwalk Nights. That'll be fun. The fireworks again. That'll be fun. Speaking of fireworks, if anybody watched our page, we uploaded a video of the Cedar Point fireworks, not traditionally in like the traditional on the beach or
in the Gatekeeper Plaza, everybody posts.
Right. We actually found a spot. Justin and I, we went hunting, and then we actually found the spot later on, even as I was recording. Evan, you were a little helpful in that. To pretty much over in the marina area, we found a spot where it looked at Raptor Lift Hill. It also looked at the Blue Streak drop and everything. Really cool. It's actually, you don't get to hear all the cool music that was synchronized to it. We would get flagged, copyrighted, because I'm still dealing with copyright things that pop up on Facebook.
Don't you get like dinged for random crap from like 2015 sometimes?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Let me tell you. Anyway, but no. So literally, all you get to listen to is the coasters running, and the lift hills going, and then also obviously the fireworks. So it's really cool. If you're into that, was it ASMR, whatever it's called?
ASMR.
Yeah. I actually, I'm not gonna lie. I listened to it. I put it on my TV and just put it on in the background, and all you hear is the lift hills going, and then just
and Raptor is so loud too. So of course, you heard that.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty cool sights. I do want to speak.
The show was good.
It was a good show. It was like a 20 some minute show, 25 minutes.
I think it was 20.
Something like that. So yeah, and for having 2 nights in a row, like, come on. I mean, fireworks they're expensive. It's cool that the park decided to do 2 nights of it. I will say really quick that the park, it has been really, if anyone's been keeping up with Ohio's weather, it's been balls hot. the past like week and a half to 2 weeks or whatever, and it's actually been kind of like it's been funny to see like the pictures online of seeing Cedar Point Shores, the water park, the line all the way out to like, I don't know, Gemini and stuff to get in. But the park has been kind of dead. And it's kind of, I'm not.
It's just too hot. Just too stinking hot.
Concerned about it, but I'm just kind of like, the park is kind of dead in July. I'm a little concerned, and I hope that like Six Flags doesn't look at this and be like, oh, we're gonna cut the hours back next year because the lines.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just, it's so stinking hot out that nobody wants to walk around a theme park.
Right. So if it's really really hot out, take some water. And obviously water breaks and things like that. And, go visit the park. a lot of people are just going to go to the water park and things like that. This is a perfect time to ride some coasters and not have to wait in line. Like literally, I posted on Facebook and someone argued with me on it. They're like, there was no way that it was a 10-minute line. No way. I was there for 2 hours the other day. I was like, that was the other day. Top Thrill 2 had a 10-minute line. 10-minute for regular line.
Wasn't it like 6 o'clock too?
5 minute, 6 o'clock when the park closed at 10, and a 5-minute line, if that, for fast lane. Like the lines have been very, very short, because of the everything. So
People just gotta argue everything.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, just go to the park, have a good time, enjoy the short lines.
Why are we gonna complain? No, you must be lying, Carsten, because you're just trying to smooch the park.
This fall, I have a feeling is going to be warm, but I feel like the park is just going to be mad busy, mad packed. So
it's going to be, if it's a good weather fall, it is going to be so horribly crowded.
Yeah.
So enjoy it now.
Yeah, enjoy it now. Get all those rides in on Top Thrill 2 and also Siren's Curse. And Ride Millennium and all the other good stuff too, because I've been trying to.
Siren's Curse is definitely pulling a little bit of weight too away from Top Thrill, because Siren's Curse has like a 2-hour wait constantly.
It is. Even on those hot days, it would be like a half hour to maybe 45 minutes. But yeah, and then Top Thrill will be like 15 or 20 minutes.
Or Siren's Curse has a 2-hour wait, and Top Thrill's like 35.
Yeah, it's definitely pulling people over there for sure. Because I mean, it's a great.
I was saying the other day, I think it was 4th of July, or maybe it was Media Day. I'm like, man, this is the heat that you're supposed to be at Florida. I don't want to deal with this unless I'm in Florida.
Yeah. So
if I'm at Universal, it's a little easier to handle because you know all the lines are indoors and all that's good stuff. But.
Right. So Evan, you want to talk a little bit about Canada's Wonderland and your?
Yeah. So this is really weird how it shook out because, back in August of last year when Canada's Wonderland announced Alpine Fury, that was the thing that was like, okay, I've been talking about it for years. I got to go to Canada's Wonderland. I have to finally go. It's the only legacy Cedar Fair park I haven't been to besides Knott's Berry Farm, which in my realm over here in Ohio, I hardly even count that. It's
nice park.
Canada's Wonderland is like 4 hours away from me. Why have I not been there?
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, and I've had a passport since 2022. I mean, so finally they announced Alpine Fury. I'm like, all right, I want to go. My girlfriend wants to go, and we want to go to Niagara Falls. And then we planned our guys trip with Kyle and some of our other friends to also go there. We didn't really know days. We just kind of assumed Alpine Fury would be open in like June.
Yeah.
So here we are on July. What day is it? July 9th, and Alpine Fury is still not open. It's close. It's very, very close. But, I spent all spring and early summer just kind of waiting for it to open. Well, it came down to it where we had our trip scheduled. I had to just throw something on the schedule regardless of Alpine Fury to get me and my girlfriend there because I'm running out of days to take PTO. Mm-hmm. So now I am going to Canada's Wonderland this weekend, and then I am also going again with all of you guys 2 weeks later. So this weekend, it's going to be more kind of Niagara Falls centric. We're going to stay at Niagara Falls and just day trip it to Canada's Wonderland. We're leaving Thursday after work. We're going to go to Canada's Wonderland we're going to get to a hotel in Niagara Falls on Thursday night. We're going to day trip to Wonderland on Friday. I don't even think we're going to open and close or anything. Just kind of more of we'll say a preview of Canada's Wonderland. I don't think Alpine Fury is going to be open, although it's testing and all that stuff. And then Saturday and Sunday will just be hang out at Niagara Falls and do the Maid of the Mist and all that good stuff and all the horribly disgusting touristy crap, the go-karts and stupid little games and rides and all that good stuff. But then, and then 2 weeks we're going, and I think by then Alpine Fury will be open, and we're spending a day and a half or if not more there. And
make sure you try the poutine fries.
Yes,
you've ever had.
yes.
Because
I gotta try the poutine at McDonald's, for God's sake. I haven't been in Canada since I was 5.
Do they have poutine at McDonald's?
Apparently they do. I
think
they really?
Canadian
McDonald's have poutine. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. If anybody doesn't know what poutine is, it's like I think it's like a Canadian dish, but literally it's like fries, and it's cheese
Fries,
curds
gravy, and cheese curds.
and gravy, like hot gravy on the fries. Like it's kind of weird. I mean, I've made them at home and stuff, but that's
Yeah,
yeah.
McDonald's has poutine.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that. I just thought it was okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
let's see. Where's the ingredients?
that's funny.
I don't need all the nitty gritty. It's okay, here we go. It's just the fries, the McDonald's fries with poutine gravy, which is just beef gravy, basically,
Oh my.
with cheese curds.
I just thought of something. If you were looking for something to do, go to a Toys R Us because they've got the actual Toys R Us.
Oh, they actually have real stores.
They
up there?
have real stores in Canada because their Canadian
Ooh.
division is still
Still kicking.
Yeah, definitely go.
See,
check
but
out
kids'
Toys R Us.
toys nowadays are so stupid. It's all just
I know,
iPads
but it's just
and
nostalgic and just being like, woohoo, maybe buy something and say, I was at Toys R Us, I don't.
But yeah, anyway, so this Friday, 48 hours from now, I will be at Canada's Wonderland for my very first time. So I'm super, regardless of Alpine Fury, I'm not even I'll be disappointed when we go in a couple of weeks if Alpine Fury's not open, because at that point I will have been at Canada's Wonderland and ridden everything else. But this time, this weekend, it's I've never even been here, so it might as well have been a trip 10 years ago when I should have gone in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for Leviathan and Behemoth. Those are really right up my alley. And
Behemoth
the
is,
weird rides
kind
too.
of it's kind of meh.
I'm excited for Wonder Mountain's Guardian because it just looks weird and stupid.
Yeah, and make sure that if that thing's open, you ride it because it's like Top Thrill Dragster OG kind of thing. Because it's
it breaks down a lot.
It does break down. It does break down a lot.
Good to know. Good to know. I know they just got a big new food place that's it's like Black Bear Lodge or something.
Yeah,
it's in the Yukon Striker area, and it's
Yukon Striker's fun. That tunnel is fun. Yeah,
I've heard that that's the best of the new B&M dives. It doesn't have the kind of shakiness. And,
I will also say,
I
know you said you wanted to save flat rides. If you do get a chance and you see that it's open, this is another flat ride that's temperamental. I think it's Sledgehammer. It's like
the big claw looking thing. Yeah.
Make sure if that's open.
I've seen that ride since Roller Coaster Tycoon.
If that's open, ride it because sometimes it has some downtime. Because it's
I didn't
a very
know.
Complex ride. So,
growing up playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I always saw that ride in the game. I'm like, who has this ride?
It's a very interesting. I'll try to describe the sensation that you'll probably feel. So literally, it's almost like an octopus kind of thing. And literally the arms kind of they spin around, right? So you've got four arms and on the four arms there's gondolas that are hanging. And so they turn. And so then they're turning, and then all of a sudden it just randomly goes down. And they're literally kind of whoa. And then they're turning, and then it goes back up, and then turning, and then it just kind of goes back.
Aren't you it gets pretty high, and also
it's good pops of airtime for sure.
It's the way that you're positioned as it's spinning, you kind of are almost upside down ish, kind of
maybe halfway, maybe something like that. But yeah, so if it's
very
open,
weird rides in that park.
Yeah. If it's open, definitely ride that too, because
they're out in Backwoody, Mighty Canadian Mindbuster. Is that the name of it?
I think so.
That just got a ton of track work from Gravity Group, Racer and Beast at Kings Island. So I've heard that ride was horrible, but now it's really, really good, or at least the first half of it is. The half that they retrack. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And it's going to be a nice, I'm not going to say quick stop because it's not like we're going to only be there for a couple hours. We'll be there for most of the day, but we're like I said, this trip's more Niagara Falls centric, and
I'll make sure I ride Top Thrill 2 and Magnum that day, and be like, hey, Evan, I can see you over there. I can see Evan's over there.
Aren't you supposed to see it from Millennium too? Isn't that a thing?
I think something like that.
On a super clear day. That's the other thing. It's supposed to be great weather up there, low 80s and sunny.
It's also really weird is you can be on I don't remember where, but I was driving around with my ex-girlfriend over there, and literally we were over by the lake, and literally it was Lake Erie. It was like, oh, by the way, if you cross the lake, it's like, oh, you're in Ohio, you know.
There's Cedar Point. Like it's like a couple hundred miles away, but it's straight across.
I don't even think it's a couple 100 mile, like nitty
Lake
gritty.
Erie's not that wide.
It might be like 50 or 60 miles, maybe not even that. I'm
gonna hop on my boat and find out.
Well, I think you have to have just make sure you take your passport, because you might run into the border patrol. Be like, hey,
worried I'm gonna forget it or something.
Oh my gosh, dude! Every time like I'd go to Canada, I'd be like, hey, and then I don't know if you can convert your car into was it kilometers? I think right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be struggling to keep the right speed on.
You can change that, and then some of the signs are kind of wonky in Canada to where it's like, I think it's like 80 kilometers per hour. You're supposed to like the speed limit. And then they break it down. Like if you go over that, they're like, that's a ticket of like 2 points, and a ticket of 3 points, a ticket of 4 points. And you're like, oh, I'm just wanted.
and then you're like, oh, it says 80, so I could go 80 miles. No.
Right. Yeah. So, but I like that park. I think the last time I was at that park, they had one of the jelly bean eating contests where it was like, if anyone's done like the jelly bean or something, I can't remember what it's called, but literally it's like you pull out yeah. So sometimes you'll like pick out something and it'll be like, ooh, it tastes like, I don't know,
did you get picked to do
strawberry?
This?
I did. Yeah, I was walking around and in the gift shop, they're like, you want to try? I'm like, sure. I got stinky socks, so it tasted real nasty. And there's like other like throw up.
That's your lasting memory of Canada's Wonderland.
Like booger, and there's like
that is your lasting memory of Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah. So
how nice. How nice.
It's not like a crazy big park either. Like it's very manageable, like walking around it and stuff too. It's not too bad.
Good.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited to go somewhere new. Not to rag on Cedar Point, but it'll be nice to be. It's not often nowadays I get to go to new parks, or especially brand new parks that have just opened. Like somebody has gotten to do in the last couple months.
That is very true. Yeah. So I got to sneak down to Epic Universe one of the weekends here, and oh my gosh, wow. I am so glad. First of all, if you are not wanting any spoilers, stop listening right now. Have a good week. We'll talk to you later. I'm going to talk about spoilers. So this is your final warning. Do not listen to this past this point, because it's be spoiler.
Wait, don't talk too in depth about the actual ride experiences on Monsters and Ministry, because I don't want those spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the queue lines and all that crap. I don't care. I don't care about the coasters. Don't tell me the nitty gritty of the dark rides.
Oh no. I'm pretty good with keeping it pretty.
I've seen the POVs of the coasters. I don't care about that. I just don't. I don't want.
First of all,
I don't want to know what happens on Monsters Unchained. I don't want to hear any of that.
First of all, I want to say I'm so glad that I did not watch one single lick of POV of the parking lot to the security center to whatever.
I don't know how you manage it.
It is. It's everything that I thought, but like it's a lot more. It's better than what I thought, to be fair. Like legit, like the security and the front gate and everything's beautiful. Like it's just yeah. I mean, it's obviously security, but it's pretty close to. It's not a far stretch like City Walk is for Islands or Universal. The buses were really nice. They were all electric and stuff and everything, so that was nice. The hotel, very nice. We stayed at was it Stella Nova? I think one of those.
I don't know, Stella Nova or Terra Luna. They're basically
Terra Luna. Yeah, we stayed at Terra Luna. I really like the rooms. The windows are extremely big. You feel almost like you're on a cruise ship, even though I've never been on a cruise ship, but it just felt like a cruise ship window experience. But anyway, so about the park, literally you like walk in and you're just like, whoa. And you don't see like all of the portals and stuff. You just like walk in and it's beautiful and it's really spacious, and you see like a little like park in the front, or in like as soon as like you walk in and stuff, there's like nice trees and shrubs and things like that. I will say that if you are planning on visiting, make sure you take plenty of sunscreen, because there's not a lot of shade. because it's a brand new park. You know, it's gonna not have a lot of change.
Trees got to grow still.
Yeah, exactly. And then literally, I don't even remember like the layout because it was just a blur.
I feel like it was probably such a blur. Yeah,
it was a blur. It really was. But like dark, there's a portal for like Dark Universe. That's really nice and creepy. They've got a really cool windmill that that catches on fire and stuff at specific times and stuff, and actually goes as a windmill when it's on fire, which is really cool.
it's like everybody waiting around for the dragon to blow at Green God.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Obviously, the dark ride, Monsters Unchained. Wow. Let me just say, like, the level of detail that all of like the animatronics are. I'm not even kidding you, Evan. I had to look down just to try to figure out if it was a human or if it was an animatronic. It was that, like, even just in the pre-queue, like, just literally, it wasn't even on the ride. There's a lot of that what you see in
I've seen the pre-show ones, the Victoria Frankenstein.
So it's a lot of that. It's almost like what's the one that's at Islands of Adventure that has the Kuka arm?
Forbidden Journey.
Yes, it's like Forbidden Journey. It's got the Kuka arm and things like that. But like literally, the Kuka arm is like, I don't know, they turned it up to 10. Literally, just a little spoiler of it. Literally, when you feel like you're getting thrown, you feel like you're getting thrown. Like there's a part where you get thrown, you're like, whoa. Like, it's aggressive, but it's a very good aggressive, and it's a really good between I've heard the overlay between the screens and also like the animatronics that are in there. And
I've heard that the Kuka arms, even though they do more, they're not as like jagged or like jiggle. Like they're smoother. They're more fluid.
Yeah.
They you could tell that there's been 15 years of technology in between Forbidden Journey
for sure
and Monsters Unchained.
Yes. It's really interesting because I mean, like, Forbidden Journey has like a crap ton of screens, like a crap ton. Ugh. And this like had screens a little bit, but like literally it was really
it's more physical sets.
It was very, very physical. Yeah. You felt like you were literally in something, like, and what was really cool is spoiler alert. If anyone's friends with me on Facebook, I got Justin, and Kyle. We kept riding it. We literally were like about to get off, and there was no line for it. And they're like, "You want to go again?" We're like, "Yeah." And then we did it again, and we did it again, and we did it again. And then I think this was probably like our last time, and we went to go ride it again. We rode it again, got through I think like maybe like scene 4 or something, and then all of a sudden everything stopped. Like, uh-oh. And then they were like, "Attention riders, the ride will be starting immediately." Like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we literally we would hear the Kuka arm like start to go. It would like click, and like nothing would happen. It would like click, like, okay. And then it would like four or five more times. Literally, that was the same thing. It was like, okay, click, no movement, click, no movement. And then it was like, okay, everyone, we're turning on the lights, we're working on it. And then first it was like they have like the characters in the actual attraction, like they were saying it, and then finally after a while it was like the ride ops were like, yeah, so we're having some technical difficulties, we're sorry, we're going to turn the lights on for your convenience. Like, okay, so the lights turn on. Oh my god, was it really?
So you got behind the scenes tour.
It was so cool to see like the Kuka arms like next to each other, and it's like a giant ride vehicle that literally like follows. It looks like it follows a track and stuff.
And you get to see all the animatronics just kind of dead.
Yeah, the animatronics weren't moving and stuff and everything. And then so they were like, okay, we think we figured it out or something. And so like, all right, the rides will be moving. Nothing happened. Click, click, nothing moving. So then they're like, okay, well, we need to reset the gondolas. So then it was like, okay, please clear the area. The animatronics are going to pull themselves back from wherever they're at. They're going to reset. So the animatronics all pulled back and stuff and everything. And then our Kuka arm was a little bit like sideways, just a smidge. And so, so we're all leaning to the left a little bit. So they're like, okay, we're going to reset the arm. So then the arm straightened out, and we're like, okay, so nothing happened. So like, okay, cool. So we were waiting there. All of a sudden, literally, they turn our Kuka arm all the way around like 180 degrees, and we see this giant catwalk that they got to like kind of assemble because they got to put like the railings and stuff, like temporary railings around, because obviously they don't want the railings up or whatever, because the Cooper arms, I'm sure, like come really close to that when you're turned around and stuff, right?
And it'll just kind of ruin the illusion if you see it.
Yeah. So literally, the ride ups come out and they're like, yeah, sorry about this, everything like that. We're having some issues. We're actually gonna have to evac you off. We're like, what? So we got evac'd off. We probably were on the ride for like 45 minutes.
Oh God.
Or so, and it was fun. My legs were.
And people complained about 10 minutes on Siren's Curse.
I know, right? That was fun. It was really cool to see some behind the scenes stuff. There is some Easter eggs in that actual attraction. I don't know if I want to share them. Maybe I'll share them at a later time.
No, after I go.
You won't actually see them. You won't see those Easter eggs. No one will actually see those Easter eggs because it's dark.
Unless they get evac'd.
Right, yeah, unless you get evac'd in that specific location.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
But yeah, so there's that. There was also the other coaster. I can't remember what the other coaster is over there, the Dark Universe. That was really fun.
Curse the Werewolf.
Yes, that was fun actually. It spins and stuff and everything. It's super smooth.
See, that's like the coaster I'm like if I have to miss a credit, that's going to be the one I miss.
Oh, that was fun. It was fun. There was that, and then that's pretty much Dark Universe.
That's Dark Universe.
And then go into Mario, Super Mario World. That one was fun. Obviously,
you've already done Mario World in Hollywood, so that wasn't like
it was different a little bit. It was obviously a lot bigger. It was obviously it's utter chaos. Literally, it's like you walk in there, you go through the warp pipe, and you hear the whoop whoop whoop, and the warp pipe noise and stuff, and then you're there and you see everything, and it's really cool.
Sensory overload.
It is. It really is. There's like kids running around, they're bumping things, and coins are going around, and things are twirling around, and you're just like, whoa. Obviously, Super Mario, Mario Kart, that ride and stuff and everything. I went into it last year or the year before or whenever I rode it.
In Hollywood.
Pretty much same thing. I've gotten a lot better after you ride it a few times and stuff. When you ride it the first time, you're like, huh. But you ride it a few more times and you kind of like figure out that your head is pretty much where your aimer is and stuff, and where you're trying to.
Yeah, because it's like a game, isn't it? And you wear like an augmented reality visor thing. And I've heard a lot of people just say that they just ride it without that because it's a little cumbersome.
Interesting. I think that's fun and so on and so forth. And then the Yoshi ride and stuff and everything, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like I don't know what to describe it as. Maybe
more like a not transportation.
It's
more
like
just
it's
a
like
sightseeing
Finding
thing.
Nemo at one of the Disney parks. I don't remember which one it was.
I think that's at Epcot.
It might be at Epcot. It might be. That's
why
Kyle needs
Disney people don't come at me.
Sorry. I literally was there like a few times and it was like a blur because we did like so many different parks in such a short period of time.
I haven't been there since
but it reminded me
so.
of that. It's cool. You got to find some eggs and push some buttons on there. And then the Donkey Kong, that one,
Is it as rough as everybody says?
I want to like it a lot, and it is. It's not. It's not like rough as in like rough and shaky, but it's like rough and jerky because like it's on like
that's like, even worse.
It's on like an arm, and the arm's really extended, and it's like trying to. There's some smooth spots in it, but I'm just like, we got to ride it 3 times because Justin's like, dude, the audio wasn't working. I'm like, huh? There's supposed to be audio. There's supposed to be audio.
Yeah, it's just the Donkey Kong music.
I had no idea. I thought it was going to add something.
I feel like it kind of like I feel like it's going to like throw me around too much.
Yeah.
See, that's what I talk about when a ride is exhausting. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want it to be nice.
Like when I go back to Epic Universe, that's not on my list to ride, sadly.
Yes.
I was excited to ride. Like it's cool to see it from the midway because like you see it from the midway and you see it like kind of like jump over some stuff and like
Yeah, I'm worried about my mom riding it because she's not.
It's not
a big person. It's gonna throw her around.
It's not super jerky. It's jerky, but it's.
I mean, little kids ride it, right? And
I'm curious to see if that ride lasts 5 years. I'm not even like lion. It's
or at
like
least like doesn't get like a big like
a rehaul. Yeah.
refurb or something to like just put real track in it. Screw
Yep.
the stupid little gimmick. Does
Yep.
the gimmick of flying off the track work?
I honestly didn't notice that when I was riding. Honestly,
Okay, well,
so sorry.
see, we sound like Universal fanboys a lot, but we're able to be critical
Yeah.
of Universal. I
Right.
think Donkey Kong. I think the what do they call that? The arm that ride concept.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, and I'm sure Universal's kind of like, dang it, they were trying for something like that, but I don't know, maybe it's got low ridership. I think the line, everything was like super short, and that had like a 75-minute line or something. So I was like, oi.
Well, it has high ridership. It just has no capacity.
Right. And then that's pretty much Nintendo.
That's Mario, yeah.
Nintendo World. And then after that there was, let's see, what other
You're missing Harry Potter and How to Train Your Dragon.
yes, Harry Potter. We'll go to Harry Potter. That was really cool. Really very kind of tiny. The whole entire like world was really like literally you like walk into the portal and then literally you almost like turn left and then you're like at the ride. Like there's not a lot to do, and I'm sure they're going to expand that like 100%. But the ride itself, so first before the ride,
it's tiny because they put all the room with the ride.
yeah, right. So what's really cool is like they've got this really cool show, and I do recommend checking out the show because it looks like a tiny little circus show. And then literally you like walk into this giant, huge theater and you're like, where the did they put this thing? You're like, what the, so the show is really good. It's definitely
like a circus, right?
Yeah. Like a circus.
Cirque du Soleil kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. It's really good. I'm not going to spoil anything with that. I'll just say, check out the show. And then the ride itself, the ride is like really tiny, and then all of a sudden it opens up to this huge room, and you're just like, whoa, I've never seen the movies or read the books or anything, so I don't know what is what, so I do apologize. I do know that there's like some kind of trial that, is going to happen, with the one lady.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes. That's really cool. I do have to say again with the the ride, oh my goodness, the animatronics in there, same thing. It literally looks like a human is standing on one of the boxes. You're like, what the huh? And then it is really, really well done with like the screens and just everything of just, it's really fun. I liked it a lot. It was really, really good. It made me actually want to see some of the see the movies and kind of like put everything around. So
if I'm not mistaken, because I haven't seen the movies, well, I saw the first Harry Potter. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this ride takes place like they've extended the story. Like there's the 6 or 7 Harry Potter movies, and they end right. The story ends. Universal has picked up this ride where the last movie ended.
I believe so. Don't quote me on it.
I think that's what's going on.
I think that's what Justin was saying. He's like, "Oh, I've seen all of them. I've seen the new one too, and blah blah blah." And it's really cool when like you exit like part of the ride and stuff. You can like exit through like all these different tunnels and stuff, and then the smoke comes up and everything, and everything's like all magical and mysterical or whatever. I can't even talk.
Mysterious.
Yeah, there we go. So that's really cool. The ride again, 100% fun.
So I'm assuming you didn't ride that as much as Monsters Unchained because of just line reasons. But
that is correct.
Which do you prefer?
Because
those are the two big boys, right? Like that's what everybody's going to Epic Universe to do is those two rides.
Man, that's hard. That's really hard. Man, I want to say Monsters Unchained just because it's different.
It's more accessible.
And it's I really like the whole entire queue. The queue's really cool. It like lights up different colors and things like that, and also the front of the mansion and everything that you go into and stuff was like everything was all really well done. I think probably Monsters Unchained, but it's a very, very, very close second. It's like literally like thinking about like Top Thrill 2 and Steel Vengeance for me. Like it's very, very close.
I feel like for me it's going to be kind the same thing where it's like both these rides are just mind blowing, but I don't really care. Sorry about the Harry Potter IP.
Yeah,
so
it's really well put together.
Monsters.
Yeah, very well put together.
So then you got How to Train Your Dragon then, because that's the only ride in Harry Potter.
Yeah. So How to Train Your Dragon, Island of Berk, definitely a sleeper. 100% my favorite portal. 100%.
I think so. I think that's going to be my favorite.
Wow.
Too. Just for views, for what it looks like.
For views and like details and stuff. Like there's literally like, if you zoom your camera in all the way to the very top of the mountain, you'll see like detailed stuff like on the very top of the mountain. Like it's really cool. I really love like the water that they added to it and stuff, and all like the fake mountains and fake whatever you want to call it, the rock work and stuff and everything. Really well put together. It's really cool to see. What is it? Not Hiccup, right? No, that's the guy. Toothless. Yeah, the dragon Toothless. That was really cool. Toothless was fun with the meet and greet and stuff and everything. And then also the show is really cool. I'm not going to spoil anything in the show, but the show is actually really cool.
I had heard about the show when it
there's live drums, which is really cool. I also really cool place to eat is, and you could get like the meatballs, I think Swedish meatballs, is I think the Mead Cafe or Mead something.
Yeah, Mead Hall.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah. That's really cool. Really nice is you literally can sit down, mobile order, boom, and you don't have to worry about like getting in the line. You just got to find a place to like sit and mobile order your food.
I love the mobile ordering at Universal.
Oh my gosh, so good. And it's just, you can order whatever you want and sit down wherever you need to and go from there. Also we got to ride the, I don't remember what it's called, but the Zamperla one that like flips you upside down kind of thing.
Is this Zamperla ride?
I think it's Zamperla. Maybe it's not. But like literally you're like flying.
Whatever, this Dragon Racers Rally, yeah.
Yes. And you fly and literally you can like flip your your gondola that you're sitting in literally like around. And I was able to get like 5 or 6 flips, just probably because I was able to almost know what to do when I started doing that. Because similar ride almost at Canada's Wonderland. I think it's different manufacturer, but like same concept.
Well, Canada's Wonderland, I know it's called Skyhawk.
Yes.
It is a Gerstlauer.
Oh, okay. My bad.
That's not who I expected.
I do have to say the only thing that I'm kind of sad on is it literally once you started to get going, the ride was slowing down. I was like, oh, it's not longer.
Short cycle.
Yeah, it's a short cycle. At least it felt that way. And then the water ride. Oh, the water ride was so much fun. So like
fire drill.
The object of the water ride is to hit the targets. But like you don't just want to hit the targets, you want to make the target spin. And so like if you do that, then you create points, and then there's literally like specific areas on the ride where you can like you're pretty much facing somebody else on the opposite side of your boat. And you can soak them or you can soak the others. And so it was so much fun.
If anybody, well, this is a similar version to what Carowinds just opened, although Carowinds has bigger boats on theirs. Because Fire Drill is just like back-to-back seating, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's only, 4 people per
I think 4 or 5.
Vehicle?
Yeah.
Where Carowinds is like a bigger boat. And if anybody rode River Battle at Dollywood before they got rid of that, it's a similar ride experience to that.
Okay.
Where you're on a boat, you have a squirt gun, and you're just trying to hit targets and people.
Yes. It's more targets than people though, because you're facing a lot of like the targets and stuff and everything. So, but you also see some of the boats here and there, and like I said, there's specific areas where you can hit and get like bonuses and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so that was
unfortunately,
really fun.
I think when I only got one day there at a time, those are going to be rides that I skip more than likely.
That's it.
But
that's fair. Yeah.
Not like, I don't know. It's not that they don't serve a purpose or anything, or it's just when I'm wanting to go and get on all the big stuff, those are going to be rides that are forgotten about.
The and then I'm forgetting.
You're forgetting Hiccup's Wing Glider, the
Wing Gliders. Wow. So no POV, right? I don't know anything, and I'm like, oh wow. Spoiler alert: you get to launch and you launch again, and It's so smooth.
There's even a little, a little backwards.
Yeah, a little backwards.
Little tiny bit.
And
Just a little taste.
the ride's actually really long too. Like it's a good coaster. It's fun. It's really
again.
fun.
I've watched all the POVs of roller coasters. That's what I wasn't worried about spoiling those. But what I didn't do was I didn't watch any of the roller coasters with the audio on, because so much of dog playing with the bone in the background. So much of what the Universal roller coasters are is the onboard audio on ride. Yeah. So that's what I didn't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, there's a lot of audio with that. Lots of it. And
I did watch the coaster itself, and it gives Big Bear Mountain vibes.
Yeah, no, it's a good coaster. It's I think I rode it like twice because the line was like short because it just opened up or whatever, and then the other line we waited for a little bit and stuff.
I've heard that one's. I pay way too close attention to what's going on at Epic Universe because I want to be so prepared to make sure I have a really good day there. Wing gliders, that's a 2-hour wait consistently.
Yeah. If they don't
even on days that aren't that busy.
Yeah, for some reason they haven't been running like both sides because they've got a two-sided station or whatever, but they haven't been running both sides.
They're having problems with it.
Maybe.
I've heard even Stardust Racers has been like maybe 2 trains aside, maybe, when I think it can run like 4.
Yeah, they're probably going for reliability than trying to stress out the computers. And whatnot.
For what it's worth, Wing Gliders has a 45-minute wait as we speak. Nice. And that's kind of crazy because Mario Kart and Ministry are both broke.
Oops. Mario? Oh, so interesting. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So then that's, I believe, it for all of the portals, except...
And then you just got Celestial Park.
First, I'm going to talk about the carousel. The carousel's so much fun. I don't even know.
It's so weird and cool.
It is so weird. And I believe, don't quote me, I think it's made by Mach.
The coaster's made by Mach. I don't know about
the carousel. I believe is made by Mach. At least I think I found something like that online where it's like, oh wow, it's made by Mach. Had no idea, huh? But I don't even know if you call it a carousel. It's very different, and every ride is a different a different song and a different way that you go around and backwards and forwards, and up and down and.
Isn't it so? I mean, the whole ride spins, right?
Yes.
But then each animal is on its if there's 30 animals, there's 6 different tables with a few different animals on each that also spin independently of the ride.
Right. But you can also get outside seats outside of that turntable.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and just
to make it more like a regular carousel.
Kinda, yeah. It's very different. I definitely recommend riding it because it's huh? It was kind of interesting though that it actually has seatbelts. Literally everybody has to put their seatbelt on. So there's that.
Get this. The manufacturer of, I'm sure somebody out there can correct me, but the manufacturer of Constellation Character is unknown. Nobody knows who made it.
Oh, interesting. Maybe it's an in-house. Who knows? Maybe Universal,
I guess,
took it in-house. I thought I read somewhere where it was Mach, but maybe that was on Log Ride. I think I put it on there and it said Mach, but maybe someone just put that just to put that there. I don't know.
That is funny.
That is a good question to ask Universal, because I actually, funny you say that. I did ask 2 of the ride ops, and I was like, "Hey, I'm like, do you guys have a plate or anything on the ride, or who's the manufacturer?" And they're like, "Oh, that's a good question. We don't know." I'm like, "Dang it!" And they look, so maybe I'll have to do some digging and find out. Or if anybody knows, feel free to email us and let us know, and we'll shut you out on the pod. But anyway,
I literally cannot find anything that says anything about the manufacturer.
Interesting. It's unknown.
That's wild.
And then saving the best for last. Wow. Stardust Racers. Oh my God. Is it awesome? Spoiler everything. Awesome. I love that they have on the very back, they have what is it called, Evan?
The from Back to the Future, the
time.
Oh my God,
the time.
I know what. Jesus, wow, we sound terrible.
The time continuum, right?
No,
the flex capacitor. That's it.
Flux capacitors. Jesus. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
See, you're old enough. You should know that.
Hey. I'm not that old. Anyway, flux capacitor, that's so cool. Like it's cool that, like, quote unquote, it's powered by that and stuff or whatever. Nice
It's a
nod
little
to Back to the
Easter egg,
Future
yeah.
and stuff. Wow. Okay, so first, when you first start out and you launch and you're like, okay, that was cool, and you're like going side by side with everyone, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and you launch faster off that launch. You're like, whoa, and then you kind of like slow down.
It starts launching, but then it really towards the end.
Yes, you're going at a speed, and then all of a sudden you're just all hell breaks
It's almost
loose.
like 2 launches in one.
Yeah, and you launch like super fast, and then you go up, and then pretty much you're like even, and you're going down at pretty much at the same time with the train. You're like, okay, cool, great, awesome, and like everything's super smooth, crazy air time. You're flying through. And then I'm like, all right, oh, that's cool. It's cool. Yeah, that's, they're racing each other. All right, yeah, cool, awesome. And then you hit like a mid-course launch, and you literally launch again, and you're like, okay, cool. But then this is where it gets fun. Literally, you like look above you or below you or whatever. All of a sudden, you see that other train that's launching like next to you, above you, and literally, it's like, they're like upside down and you're right side up, and you're like probably within a few feet or so of like touching your hands. You're like, have your hands up. They've got their hands up, and you're like, wow. And you're just like, oh my gosh. And it goes like that throughout the whole entire secondary part after that secondary launch. It's like, wait, what? It was so much fun. Like so smooth, so smooth. And I think so. What was cool was the park was open till 9, but they kept that open until 10, and nobody knew about it. Justin and I literally looked at my watch. I think.
Hey, don't let that secret get out.
I think I lapped, or I checked on my watch, and it said I went from 9 to 10 p.m. I went like a mile, 1.3 miles, literally walking back and forth, getting back in line. Like I can't remember for sure, but I think we rode it like at least 10 or 11 times that day just because there was nobody there, and we were just riding it. And then they were also running 4 trains on there, which is good. I think they can run up to 6, I think. Maybe 6.
Yeah, I think it could be three on each side.
Yeah, 3. I think 3 on each side, or maybe 8. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 8. I don't know for sure, but they were running a lot.
I know that break run is really long.
Yes, it is long. But yeah, it was just boo. Front's really fun, back's really fun, middle's fun, like it just everything. So, really fun park. Really happy I got to talk about it because it's been a while since I
like a month since you've been
since
there.
I wrote it, and just trying to keep everything together and stuff. But really cool. The soundtrack's really cool. Got to check out the Grand Helios Hotel. Got to take a peek around there and walk around there for a little bit, see everything, see the fountains and stuff. The park at night is so magical and so beautiful. If you have a chance to check it out at night as well, make sure you stay the whole day and stay the night and stuff, because I think the park really comes together at night. There's not a whole lot of lighting on Stardust Racers, just to take to like look at the track and stuff and everything. So the trains light up at night, and they really do it justice. Where
they look like comets.
They look like comets and stuff and everything. It's really cool. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Oh, I do want to say really quick, the food that I got to eat. Also Meat Hall. I ate the meatballs and stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I ate at Toad's Toadstool Cafe.
Toadstool, yeah.
That was really cool. I got dared and won the bet to where Bowser has a meatball challenge where it's like super uber duper spicy, right? And I think it's a 1 pound meatball, big meatball. It's really big. And so like if you want to do the challenge, it's spicy and blah blah blah. Dude, I literally had that gone within like 15 minutes, and I even like Justin put like I think he was gonna pay me some money or buy me a beer or something. And so he's like, you got to dump all the hot sauce. It was literally like red hot kind of stuff. I was like, okay. It was spicy. They used pepper flakes though. It was a little spicy, but I got through it. I was like, ooh, I'm still hungry. So then Justin upped the ante. He's like, hey, so if so Peach has her own cake. You literally can share it with like 4 people, I think, or something. And so it's got like a lot of whipped cream, and I want to say a lot of whipped cream. It's got obviously cake
Emphasis on
and
whipped cream. A lot of whipped cream.
raspberries and like cookies and things like that on it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Ooh, that sounds
Justin's
good.
like, we saw someone order. He's like, hey, he's like, if you eat that whole thing or whatever, I'll pay you like $15 or something or whatever. Like, okay, that's cool. So literally, I ordered it. I unfortunately couldn't finish it because, like I said, there was a shit ton of whipped cream. Like, wow, was it? Oh my goodness, dude! There was so much whipped cream. It wasn't even like, yeah.
It's so much sugar. Oh
There
my
was so
God.
much. So it was like super spicy, super hot. My mouth was watering and on fire a little bit, and then literally it was like eating
That transition.
all of that cake and stuff and everything. And
that transition from spicy to super sweet. Oh,
I got 75% gone on that cake. I'm happy to say, but the whipped cream was just way too much to overtake. So, but yeah, the food phenomenal at the park. Make sure you try to eat there and everything. So, but yeah, so Evan, I think we're gonna probably take a break. Unfortunately, the news hasn't been crazy coming out.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, so we were able to talk about this. We'll probably take like a 2-week break or something like that, and then we'll talk about once we get back from. If anything breaks in, we'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about obviously Boardwalk Nights and that'll be something to talk about.
I think, but mostly once we get back from our Canada's Wonderland trip is when we'll have Kyle back. We'll reconvene and update from there.
But I mean, this isn't over an hour, so we at least scraped some stuff together. And
yeah, I think about half of that was Epic Universe.
Yeah, right. If any, and then if anybody doesn't want to listen to it, then it is what it is. And so
I wanted to say with Epic Universe one last thing. Yeah. It is so crazy to me that since we started this podcast, 3 years ago?
Yes.
Epic Universe has been under construction. We've known about it. We've had little details. It's been so exciting watching the construction. And now here we are. It's 2025, and Epic Universe just exists now. It's so crazy to me that is just a park that people can go to now. It's not. It's been like 10 years of following it along and watching construction and hearing about the different portals. And it's like, oh my God, it's actually open.
Yeah.
And I am about, a month and a week away from visiting myself finally. So
I love it.
Oh my God, it's exciting.
I love it. But so Evan, you want to close this and I'll close this out?
Yep. So yeah, just like we said, there's gonna be another couple weeks off. So it's going to be a total of 2 episodes during the month of July. That's fine. So yeah, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to us blab. Hopefully some news comes out. Hopefully Alpha and Fury opens, and I can't wait for the time Canada's Wonderland.
And make sure you follow us or make sure you rate us, and also make sure you follow us and tell your friends to give us a listen. We really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.